Welcome back to another episode of the Resilient Life Hacks podcast. I'm your host, Elizabeth Myers, and I'm here today with Carenda Deonne. She's an author and a motivational speaker and a coach, and just an all around impressive lady. And she's going to share her wisdom and knowledge with us here today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Elizabeth, thank you for having me. I am excited to be here.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing more of your story. I know your tagline says that you're a change agent and that you encourage people when life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade, take aim. So I'm
Ah,
really curious about what that means and how we can do that.
Elizabeth, first of all, you have made my day. Absolutely. I am always excited. I always get excited and overjoyed to talk about taking aim and throwing those lemons back. And it is a challenge because when you go through hurt, it's hard sometimes to be resilient. It's hard
Mhm.
sometimes to believe in yourself again. And one thing that I've learned, I've had a great support system. I have a family that loves me. We are that touchy feely, tell you every
Mhm.
day I love you. But
Mhm.
until you create that space, until you create that opportunity to forgive yourself and
Mhm.
to make that choice to say, yes, I'm hurting. Yes, I messed up. Yes, I have gone through some changes and challenges that really have just discouraged me. But I'm ready to take aim, meaning
Mhm.
I'm ready to change my thought process. I'm ready to take risks and I'm ready to deliver a new me.
I like that. Just taking ownership of what is and pushing ahead to what will be in the
Absolutely.
future. I love that. So, can you give us a
Absolutely.
little background of how did you learn these life lessons, or where did that resilience come from in your life?
Oh my
Usually, it comes from people going through stuff.
Yes, Elizabeth, absolutely. And what makes me so passionate is because I'm not teaching or empowering or giving information on something that I haven't done myself.
Hmm.
Growing up, I was bullied in school, and it really affected my choices in friendships and
Hmm.
relationships. So people would tell me all the time, "Oh, you're so pretty." But inside I didn't feel that way
Yeah.
because I could not establish healthy friendships and
Hmm.
relationships. And so it really affected me. So I felt that I had to beg and kind of buy people's
Hmm.
approval and wanting to be my friend, wanting to just see that, hey, I'm a good person. Hey, I'm a
Hmm.
good friend. Get to know me. And that is unfortunate because what happens is that you lose focus
Hmm.
of you, and everything now becomes centered around what you think other people want or what you
Right.
think is going to please somebody else. And it grows very tired. But
Hmm.
I went through that, and again, it really affected my friendships and relationships. And I didn't make really good choices. I went through two divorces, and both of them were not easy. But one of the things that it helped me to learn is to really get to know Corinda, right? When are you going to really draw the line in the sand, right?
Hmm.
And say, who is Corinda? Why does Corinda exist? What are the strengths and the weaknesses of Corinda? And will you love her? Will
Hmm.
you love all of her so you can be a better person going forward? And so, what I stopped doing, Elizabeth, was being dismissive, and I stopped pointing the finger at others
Hmm.
and started really taking self inventory. Very, very, very important.
Hmm.
And one other thing I'll add is that grief can also be something that causes you to make decisions that are not profitable, so to
Hmm.
speak. I had a very untimely death of my baby brother,
Hmm.
and when that happened, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I mean, every decision was coming or was being based on emotion or feeling or temporal satisfaction. And
Hmm.
so learning how to give room to cry, to feel that, to
Hmm.
go to counseling and get stronger in the grieving process, all of those things make a difference.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I'm
Yeah,
sorry for your loss, but
thank you.
I know that really those kinds of things develop strength and character. And I can see it in your life and in your enthusiasm. And I've been there too. After I lost my son in the second trimester of pregnancy,
Wow.
and I really struggled with depression for years afterwards. But just that mindset of thinking things that are unhealthy and making decisions that are unhealthy because they're coming from such a place of brokenness
Yes.
and twistedness. And really, there were a lot of things that helped me, but one of them was definitely getting a hold of my thoughts and what I was thinking and what I was telling myself. So yeah, what you're
Yeah.
sharing speaks to me too, because I've experienced that as well.
Yes, yes, it is difficult and it's real, and as women, a lot of times it's unfortunate, but we have this persona or this feeling that we always have to have it all together all the
Mhm.
time. And there are times and it's just not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah,
And it's okay. It
right.
really, really, really is okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I think we set ourselves up for frustration sometimes because it's like, I want to cook like this friend and I want to have a home like that friend and
Mhm.
my kids dress cute and well behaved like that friend and do crafts or whatever like this friend. And it's nobody's doing all of it. We put this pressure on ourselves to do all of it, but everybody who's doing something amazing, there's something that they're not doing, you know. And
Yes.
I think we forget to remind ourselves that of, yeah, she's amazing at that and that's awesome, but there's other things she's not doing that I'm amazing at, and I'm amazing at something and I'm not doing this other thing, and that's good because
It's so,
we
so
need each
true.
other.
Yes, we need each other. And if we can minimize the comparison piece
Mhm.
and extend more of the compassion piece, it would just make such a difference,
Mhm.
but we have that tendency and it's almost like it's natural. You have to be so sensitive to it because before you realize it, that seed can be planted and you're comparing yourself or trying to measure yourself to someone or what they're doing or what you think that they're doing.
Mhm.
And you've got to be so careful about that. Yeah. But
Mhm.
I really do feel when we extend more compassion and appreciate the gifts that we bring and the energy that we
Mhm.
portray, it will just be a much better place. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And that's hard sometimes to focus on using the gifts we have instead of focusing on the gifts I'd rather have. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm a writer naturally. That's what I enjoy doing. But I've always wanted to be a singer. I don't know. Are you
Uh,
familiar with Mandisa, the singer?
I
She,
think so. Yes, yes,
well,
yes,
she's
yes.
a soprano, and I'm not. But I try to sing along with her in the car. My kids give me such a hard time. They're like, "Mom, you are so not Mandisa." But
That is.
I try.
I want to share this quote. I'm a big football fan and I'm a big Baltimore Ravens fan. I'm from Baltimore. And so this was the time close to the Super Bowl. The Ravens, we did not make it, but the big hoopla was around Tom Brady making his 10th appearance to the Super Bowl. And, I really respect Tom Brady. I've never been like a big fan of the New England Patriots or the new team he's with. But
Mhm.
point is, he said this quote on an interview, and I thought it was very powerful. He said that he makes every play within his limitation. And I was
Mm,
like, wow, that's
mm,
big. He didn't say I make every play outside of my limitation or doing something that is not comfortable for me, but he actually said I make every play within my limitation. So
mm.
he recognizes what his limitation is, but maximizes on what he can do and how he can perform and perfect what he can do well.
Mm.
And that just spoke volumes to
Yeah.
me. I said, I
Mhm.
love it.
Yeah. Yeah, we have some teenagers in our home, and trying to kind of disciple and coach young adults into, what do you want to do next? Where do you want to go? Or
Yeah.
or what have you. And I've been encouraging some of them, just try something because sometimes realizing that's not what I want, that helps you identify what you are supposed to be doing or where you do fit. If you kind of process of elimination, you can rule
It's
things out.
yeah. It's true. And you know what, Elizabeth, that's a great point, because what can happen is there can be this new discovery, and where you're not in this comfort zone or in this routine of things, but you're doing something new, which is creating a whole new atmosphere, an entire new environment and energy for
Hmm.
yourself. So I think
Hmm.
that's great. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I checked out your website. I love the image where you're holding the lemons, and I don't know if somebody's actually throwing them at you or if that was cropped in later. But and you mentioned it, taking the lemons that life gives us and throwing them back. So can you describe, like, in life, what does that look like? What does it mean to take the the lemons and take aim?
Yeah, you know what it means? It means being 100% honest and transparent and vulnerable. So if you went through a part of your life where there was depression, own that, right?
Hmm.
Not try to, add sugar and make it feel like, oh, I just had a bad day. No, if you really
Hmm.
were going through that season or that time of depression, really take ownership of it and say, okay, depression, I see you. Depression, here you are.
Hmm.
Depression, I'm not afraid to say your name. However, you can't stay
Hmm.
here. You can't live
Yep.
here. You can't dwell here. You can't take ownership here. No, you're not welcome
Hmm.
here. So here are the steps that I'm willing to take to make sure I throw you back, right? So if it is hooking up with a counselor, if it is writing a gratitude list daily, if it is doing something new that you haven't done before,
Hmm.
if it is forgiving yourself and others, if it is, carving out time that you take for you and not having this pressure of feeling like you have to spend a lot of money to do it, but, running you a wonderful bubble bath and just sitting there and just taking notice of your space and appreciating your life and the breath that you breathe. But it's taking full ownership of, okay, this is what's happening, but I'm also taking ownership of what's next. And so that's what taking aim is all about. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like that forward thinking. That's where hope comes from. The hope that it won't always be this way or that there will be something better in the future. But I experienced that too, being depressed. And for years, I just tried to hide it. I tried to pretend. I tried to sweep it under the rug, and I was stuck. It
Yeah.
wasn't until I acknowledged it and said to people, "Hey, I think I'm depressed and I think I need help." And that's when I could start healing. But until I was willing to admit it and label it, I was just stuck.
You were
So
stuck.
I agree 100% with you.
Exactly. And my passion is, hey, don't let these lemons drown you. Don't let these lemons overtake you. No, it may take time, but you do have the fortitude. You do have the strength. You do
Hmm.
have faith, and you do have the forgiveness to throw them back. You really do. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Even if it's day by day, just
Yeah.
start
One,
somewhere.
one lemon at a time.
One lemon at a time, Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Or if they're big lemons, it might just be one slice at a time, just whatever you can toss.
Exactly.
Yeah. So as a recovering perfectionist myself, I'm intrigued by the title of your book. Is it
Mm.
Perfect Patty Messes Up? Is that
Perfect Patty messed up. Yes, yes,
okay?
yes.
All right. So tell us a little bit more about that.
Oh my gosh. Perfect Patty. What can I say about Perfect Patty? I I was Perfect Patty, and there are times I still have to be mindful of Perfect Patty. She'll try to rise up.
Hmm.
But it was this placing again unnecessary pressures on myself and feeling that I wasn't even qualified unless everything appeared perfect. And it is a hard lifestyle when
Hmm.
you are trying to portray to others that you have it all together and life is great, at its 100% peak all the time.
Mm.
And there's so much going on in the inside of you. So Perfect Patty Messed Up is a devotional that's going to get to the heart of Perfect Patty because, from the outside looking in, she's like, I'm good, right? But
Hmm.
there is this time where Perfect Patty sits still, and when she's by herself, most times she can be either crying or just uncomfortable or just uneasy because she knows that she's dealing with things, and she feels that in her heart. So the book really helps to speak to the heart of Perfect Patty, not the image of Perfect Patty, because she has
Mm,
pack. So
hmm
it speaks to the heart of Perfect Patty, and it gets her to open up, right? And it gets her to ultimately accept that, yes, you know what? I did mess up. And I did fail in this particular area, but this is what I've learned from that.
Yeah.
And lets her know the beauty of the journey
hmm
instead of trying to make this journey perfect in her own right. But it's the beauty of the journey, the ups and the downs. So it's like having your own personal journal, you know.
Yeah.
Hard to share the book because I have places where you need to write and you
Mm,
really be honest with yourself. And so it's like your own little journal. I love
mm.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's neat. I'll have to get me one of those.
Yeah.
For sure. Cause I've struggled with the perfectionist thing. If I can't get it absolutely right the first time, then I don't want to do it. And that's just such a limiting belief to
Oh,
think that. And it's just
it
so
is.
crazy. But just like you said, I've been trying to focus more on what can I learn? Like there's not really a failure unless I quit trying or I just
Exactly.
don't learn anything from it and give up. But anytime I try something and mess up, I learn a lot of things.
You
And
do.
then I,
You
I
learn a
do a
lot of
little
things.
better the next time. So,
Yes, yes. And the thing is, as women, we are full, Elizabeth. We are full with so much wisdom. But how will that wisdom ever be communicated if we can't be honest?
hmm
You know what
hmm
I'm saying?
yeah,
We got to be honest for that wisdom to blossom. So,
right.
yeah, yeah.
And I feel like too being honest about our stories is for me anyway, that's just really opened up a door to help others and to minister to others. When I was hiding what I was struggling with, that didn't help anybody. And I already told you I was stuck. It didn't help me either. But when I open up and I say, hey, this is where I've struggled, I've been floored with how many people say, oh, me too. I've
Mhm.
struggled with that also, or I'm struggling with something like that now. And then we can have a real conversation. And I can come alongside someone and say, hey, this is okay. You're not alone. And here's some things that you can try or some support, or I'll
Yeah.
just chat with you, or I'll just pray with you, or whatever you need. And when I was hiding it, I didn't have any camaraderie or closeness with anybody. But when we open up
Mhm.
and just say, hey, we're a bunch of messed up, imperfect people. Let's just love each other anyway.
Yeah,
Then
exactly.
there's healing in
Exactly.
that.
It is. It is. And I didn't even realize like how robotic I started becoming. It was
Mm,
like the same phrase, the same verbiage,
mhm.
same facial expression. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes we don't realize, either physically or emotionally, how bad we're hurting till we start feeling better.
Yeah.
And I know I was in that situation. I'd been depressed for so long, I didn't really. That was just my normal. It's just like a
Hmm.
fish doesn't know it's wet; it's always in the tank. But
There you go.
when I started getting counseling, I started a new rejuvenated relationship with God, and I started a new health program, and I also got on medication and antidepressant. And like the week after that,
Hmm.
I was playing with my toddler, and I was like, I actually feel playful. Like I'm not faking it. And
Yeah.
that just struck me of like, I didn't realize that I had been faking it. But in my mind, I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, a good mom wants to play with her toddler. So I want to be a good mom. Therefore, I should play with my toddler. But I wasn't feeling it. But this
Right.
time I'm like, I actually feel like I want to play with my baby, you know?
Yes.
And
Yes.
I didn't realize it until I felt better. And then looking back, I went, oh wow, I was even more messed up than I thought I was.
Yeah. Yeah. But wow, what a powerful, powerful
Mhm.
story. And your podcast in itself is just amazing because it's really being that platform and that voice. So other women know, okay, I'm not in this by myself. I
Mhm.
can take a deep breath and literally exhale
Yes.
and, grow and know that better days are ahead because
Mhm.
they are. They
Yeah.
are. Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. So tell us a little bit more about how you use your wisdom and your skills in coaching and in mentoring others, and what does that look like? How do you be a change agent for other people?
Yeah, for me, being a change agent is literally being an open book. There was a time in my life where it was like be an open book. Who? Me? Never. Uh, you
Leave
may
that
need to
one
go
to you.
watch a
Yeah.
show on Oprah for that. I'm not that
Yeah.
girl, right?
Yeah.
But being a change agent is now being that open book, right?
Hmm.
And really understanding that the wisdom that I have did come through pain,
Hmm.
but now I am at a safe place and a healthy place where I can speak to it so that it can help someone else, right?
Hmm.
Because sometimes you can speak to something, but because you're not healed or you're not in a safe place, you're going to do more damage to that
Hmm.
person. Good.
Right.
But now that I'm in a place where it's safe, I can be open, right?
Hmm.
The healing has taken place. The wisdom can flow,
Right.
and the openness can flow, and the ideas for what will work next can flow.
Hmm. Hmm.
And so for me, it's really about mindset as well. Being a change agent to me goes much, much further than, an emotion, right? I want your mind to shift. I
Hmm.
want you really to be challenged to do something different, not do something that's comfortable or the same or the cycle, but to do something different.
Hmm.
Um, in order to break some things that need to be broken. And being that heart of compassion to say, I'm here, even when that brokenness, like when you feel it coming,
Hmm.
when you realize that that breaking point is there, being that heart of compassion to say, hey, I got you because I've
Hmm.
been there. I
Yeah.
know, I know, I know, I know.
Hmm.
So being a change agent for me is that mental shift, that challenge to mentally say, I
Hmm.
am ready to choose better. I'm ready to
Hmm.
choose better.
Yeah.
And so a lot of what I do in the, conversations or the keynote speaking or the workshops, it really gets to the mindset of people to make them think, okay, why am I doing what I'm doing? And what is it that I need to do different in
Hmm.
order to be better, a better
Yeah.
person for people? Yeah.
Yeah. I think sometimes we just get in a rut or get on autopilot and we don't think about what we're thinking about and we don't realize how
Yeah. We
much
don't.
that's affecting us. But I really like how you share that of just, own where you're at and where you've been and, maybe what part you had in getting there.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're in a bad spot because we messed up and sometimes it's because something outside of our control happened.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
but then just to take, not to stay stuck there, to take responsibility and in spite of whatever things have been done wrong to you or by you, just to move forward, just
Yeah.
to decide I'm not going to stay stuck here. Like you said, drown in the lemons. I'm going
Exactly.
to toss them back.
You
What
know
that
what?
reminds me of is that story about I think it was a donkey that got thrown in a well. They were going to bury it alive or something. And they
Oh,
kept
really?
scooping dirt in on top of it and it would shake off the dirt and step up.
I
And then they
love
threw
it.
dirt on it, shake off the dirt and step up. And eventually
Love
it
it.
just got out of the hole where somebody else was trying to bury it. I don't know that that's an actual story. I think it's just an illustration, but um, I don't know why anybody would bury a donkey alive. That's a strange thing to do. But I love that of just, when life is throwing stuff at you and trying to
Yeah.
sweep you under, just shake it off and step up, shake it off, step up,
Take it off and step up. I love that, Elizabeth. I'm going to have to use that.
Yeah. I didn't
I
come up with
like
it.
it.
I heard it somewhere else, but I can't remember where. So, all right, great.
Yes.
So if I'm sure that we'll have many listeners who will want to connect with you, I love your enthusiasm and your energy and you can
Thank,
hear the compassion coming through in your voice for people. And,
thank you.
um, you just feel like a safe person to work through stuff with but still a motivator and an encourager and not just, oh, they're there. That's too bad. I'm sorry. But that you're going to inspire people to push forward and to take that next right step for them. So if they want to get connected with
Absolutely.
you, what's the best way for them to do that?
Sure, absolutely. And thank you, Elizabeth, again. This has
Mhm.
been just a great, great time
Oh, yeah.
together. Please be sure to connect with me. My website is carendadeonne.com, and you can find information. I'm on also every social media platform under Carenda Deonne LLC. So you can find me there, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, I'm there. As well as you can feel free to email me personally at admin@carendadeonne.com and let's connect. If you've got lemons, and I'm sure somewhere you do,
Everybody's got lemons.
you know, You got Lens. I am your girl. I am your agent, your change agent. So
Yeah.
yes, definitely connect with me.
Yes. Okay. That's awesome. And I will put all those links in the show notes. So if you're out and about listening to this podcast somewhere, please check online and you can just click the links and it will take you to those places so you can connect with Carenda. And thank you so much for joining us today. This has been such a delight talking to you and hearing the power and the passion of your story.
Thanks, Elizabeth. Thank you again.